Okay, so for this class focused on plank, I just am going to briefly talk about some ideas. Essentially, we're taking a Tadasana, which is standing on your mat, mountain pose, and we're just flipping it to become horizontal or parallel to the floor. That makes it sound very easy, but of course, we are supporting ourselves with our limbs, so it's harder. But if you keep in your head this idea that we're trying to find this same posture we have when we stand vertically, just put it horizontal or parallel to the floor, that can start to clarify some of the alignment questions. What we're going to work on, hold on, I'm letting one more person in. We'll work on making the scapula feel really stabilized on the rib cage. So we want them to nicely sit on the back in a way where they can be strong and stable. And another big one for plank that people forget is the glutes. So if you actually keep working on the glutes as if they were wrapping towards your heels when you're in that plank, it's going to help kind of take some of the effort out of the arms. So if we can focus on the core region, the abdominals and the glutes, they are going to facilitate a sense of lightness and ease in our plank. That being said, we all have different versions of plank. Your plank doesn't have to have straight knees and be fully lifted off the floor. You could have your knees down. Maybe right now it looks more like a quadruped with the knees down and a little under you. That's fine too. I just really want to start focusing on this kind of, especially the torso alignment of a plank. So we'll walk through it today during the class. Let's just get started moving, I think. So we'll start with a low bridge, finding the feet flat on the floor. Actually, we're not going to go straight into low bridge. We'll take a moment to work on our neck, just a brief moment. So inhale here, exhale, draw the chin towards your throat and try to imagine the back of the skull was moving away from your pelvis. You might feel like you're making a double chin. And then release towards something that's more comfortable. And then exhale, just a subtle movement. Once again, that chin draws towards the throat, lengthen the back of the neck, back of the skull moving away. And release. Next thing we'll work on here, take the right hand to the side of your head, to the right side of your head. Give some pressure in. And then imagine you were tipping the right ear towards the right shoulder, but don't let the head move. So you're just pressing the skull into the right hand, but the head's not really going to move, and you'll feel the side muscles of the neck kind of turn on. So push and then release, and then push right side of the head into the hand and release. We'll do one more, push and release, and same thing to the other side. Left hand to the side of the skull. We'll put some pressure into the hand and then lean the skull into that hand. And release, lean the skull, and release. One more, lean, and release. And then this last piece, inhale here, exhale, tuck the chin towards the throat and peel the head off the floor. Gaze comes forward, and inhale, lower. You're just lifting the head there. Exhale, peel the head up, chin drawing towards the throat, and lower. One more, peel it up. And lower. So we're going to hold on to that nice lengthened neck for our plank. And now we'll head to a low bridge. So press into those feet. We'll curl the tailbone up slightly and then lift the pelvis off the mat using those glutes. Only coming up as far as you can without impacting the low back. And I would challenge you today to maybe go a little lower than you're used to and really ramp up this reaching of the tailbone. So almost like you were curling the pubic bone up in an exaggerated way. Some would argue this might be a bit of posterior tilt of the pelvis, but we're really doing it as an exercise to get our glutes going. You can press the palms up to the ceiling here. And as you do this, feel the head of the humerus, which is your arm bone, the upper arm bone, draw towards the floor. So I want you to feel like the back of the shoulder joint is actually on the mat. So you're doing that with both hands here, and then pull back on the right fingers with the left hand, opening up the wrist. Big inhale, And exhale. Keep using those glutes. And then stretch out the left wrist. We'll press the palm up to the ceiling, pull back with the right fingers. And once again, get a sense of that, the back of the left shoulder pulling to the floor. And this, essentially, you can let the wrist go, just hold the right palm up once again. These are plank arms, basically. So we'll keep working on finding our scapula in this place on the back, and then slowly lower all the way through the spine until that pelvis is down. Let me just lock our Zoom room. You can take a moment to breathe, and we'll head into our core wake up here. So we'll keep the feet on the floor today, interlace the fingers behind the skull, elbows up. Inhale, exhale, peeling head and shoulder blades off the mat, coming up for a bit of a crunch, and really consolidate the front. Maybe bring the right hand to the front of the ribs and just encourage them not to fly up. Inhale, lean back and lower to the floor. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Getting a sense of consolidation, and then the left hand can come to the ribs, just as a reminder here, to pull down, and inhale, lower. Starting our optional add-ons here, exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Option to pull the elbows up towards the ceiling, but nothing else moves. You'll feel that demand really increase. Maybe float the left knee over the left hip, keeping the knee bent there. And back towards neutral, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Option to lift those elbows up towards the ceiling. What this is doing is bringing the scapula into a bit of protraction, and then maybe lift the right knee over the hip if that feels okay. Keep pulling those ribs to consolidate. Back to neutral, inhale, lower. Next add-on option, inhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Maybe lift those elbows a bit, maybe that left knee lifts over the hip. Option to twist to the left, just moving through the ribs. And then reach the left leg on the left diagonal. So it's going slightly out to the side. Pull it back towards its bent neutral position, and one more, reach it out to the side. Back to neutral, foot lowers, inhale, lower. Woo! Last time, exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Peeling off the floor, maybe lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. Maybe the right knee floats. Option here to add a twist, staying off the right shoulder blade. And then this final piece, we reach the right leg out on a diagonal out towards the right. Pull it back into neutral. Reach it out to the right. Extra demand there. Back to neutral, everything lowers. Big inhale, you can take the arms to a wide T. Keep reminding the back of the neck to just lengthen, skull releasing towards the floor. And we'll come up and around to all fours for a quadruped. Woo, that core work really got me today, especially in the rib cage area. So the first thing when we talk about plank actually has to do with how we place our hands, because that's going to influence our shoulders and our elbows and how things track as we move in a plank. So what you all should do, we all have different wrists, and you want to look at the crease of the wrist when that hand is flexed and match the crease of the wrist with the front of the mat. So make them parallel. Often we get told fingers should be facing perfectly forward. That's not true because we all have different arms. So check in with your wrist alignment there. And every time we're weight bearing on the hands, this is your alignment of the hands. So for me, I had a broken wrist on my left side. So I actually have to flare the fingers out to get the right alignment that works for me. And it helps my shoulders so much. So just take a moment to workshop that. And we're going to head to some serratus puffs. So we've done these before. We'll exhale, push the floor away, puff just the upper back up towards the ceiling. You can release the chin. So it's like the shoulder blades are pulling away from the spine. And then come back through neutral. Let the chest fall towards the floor without spilling the low belly. So when you do this, the scapula are pulling towards the spine. So we'll push through neutral and then round the upper back, puffing it up. And then come through neutral and just pull the shoulder blades slightly towards the spine as the chest falls forward. So I exhale as I puff, and then inhale as the chest falls. But really hold on to the ribs and the low belly there. We're not getting the pelvis involved. We're isolating to the upper back. Let's do just one more. Puffing up, and then let it fall. And then from this fallen position, I want you to dial it back. So you're heading towards neutral, but don't go the full way. So you just kind of push the chest away from the floor, but you'll stop when you feel those shoulder blades on your back. Remember that moment in our bridge when we pulled the back of the shoulder towards the mat. Get that same sensation here. And then exhale, pull the low belly up towards the spine. And this is our like nice and strong position in plank. If you're not quite finding it, another sensation you can work with is pulling the palms back towards the knees on the mat. So the hands won't move, but you get that sense of pull. From here, we'll try for our first plank. So step the right foot back, nothing moves, and step the left foot back. Keep that sense of the shoulder blades anchored on the back. Turn your glutes on. Of course, you can lower the knees or stick in the quadruped. And then step one knee in and then the other. We'll sit the hips back for our child's pose. So plank number one there. Take note of how that felt. For me, it's always when I do that slow, methodical entry, it's really intense on the shoulders. Makes me think about the times I'm maybe not putting intention in. But don't judge yourself for it, just note that. Exhale here. And we'll shift the weight forward to move towards a sun cell one. So walk the feet forward, bending those knees. When you get to the top, find a long spine. Your hands can be anywhere to make that happen. And we'll keep holding on to this long spine, kind of in every position we do today. So inhale, press into the feet, arms lift. Let's take a moment, exhale, hands down by your sides. And envision this as your plank. Maybe even press the hands forward as if the wall in front of you was the floor. And just get a sense of what this feels like. Trying to draw, imagine the floor beneath the back, drawing the shoulders towards it. Good, let that go, release the arms, maybe shake them out a little. Felt intense. We'll inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, long spine. Hands plant, and the right foot steps back, lower the knee, untuck those toes, half kneel here. Inhale, arms lift. And interlace those fingers behind the head, elbows wide. Draw the skull back into the hands. Once again, we're trying to break that habit of pushing the head forward. That's gonna hurt us in our plank. Right glute turns on. And here we go. Hands plant, head to down dog or take a plank. You can always have the knees lowered. Pin those shoulder blades on the back. And then lower the knees. Keep the shoulder blades where they are. Just bend the elbows to lower to the belly. Inhale, chest pulls forward for cobra. Turn the glutes on here. Exhale, tuck the toes. We'll all meet in down dog. Half kneel on the right, so right foot steps forward. Left knee lowers, untuck the toes, inhale, arms lift. Left glute turns on and we interlace those hands behind the skull, drawing the skull back in space. Maybe take one hand to the front of the ribs and just check in that they're not flaring forward. Plant the hands forward, we'll step the left foot in, exhale, and inhale, rise to stand, long spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Hands plant, step the left foot back for half kneel, lower the knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms lift. This time, right hand comes behind the pelvis. Tap those knuckles on the left glute and side bend to the right. This is a Lancer Dodger position. We're opening up that left side. Back to vertical, hands plant, step to down dog or plank. If you're in plank, knees down or up and glutes on. Lower those knees, hold the shoulder blades where they are, and just bend the elbows. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, we'll all meet in that down dog. Left foot steps forward, half kneel. Lower the right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms lift. Lancer Dodger arms, the left hand comes behind the pelvis, knuckles into that right glute. And we side bend left. Man, I got 15 minutes into class and I already mixed them up. Back to vertical, hands plant forward. Step the right foot in on an exhale. And inhale, rise to stand. If you're using that playlist and you haven't started it, you can start it now. We'll start our first sequence. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Right foot steps back for half kneel. Lower right knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms lift. And then press the palms forward in your plank arms. Once again, let the arms pull forward, so scapula pull away from the spine. And then draw those scapula onto the back. So reach the arms forward, really moving from the scapula, and then draw them onto the back. One more like that. Reach it forward. It's kind of intense for a small movement. Pull it back. And then bring those fingertips to the top of the shoulders, and one at a time we'll roll the shoulders back in space. So the elbows are expressing this roll here, but really the shoulder blade is kind of our motor. All right, release this rolling, and we'll step the left knee back, coming to a high kneel. If that doesn't feel okay, keep in your low lunge. Open these arms wide, micro bend in the elbows, and your hands are as if you're palming a ball. We'll pull this back by drawing shoulder blades towards the spine for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then take right arm on the upper diagonal, left arm on lower. Pull back 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch your diagonal, right arm low, left arm high for 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back to center. We'll do one more round of that. So shoulder blades pull together and release. 3, 2, 1. Right arm up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Left arm for 4. Left arm's high. And really holding onto the ribs and the neck here. They're going to want to kind of move on you. Release that. We'll plant the hands for quadruped. Let the chest fall like we did at the start. And then dial it back towards neutral. Feel the palms pull back on the mat. Hold here and just bend the elbows. Nothing else moves. You're just bending like a third of the way maybe. And then press it up. We'll walk the knees away, so start walking them back. Nothing else moves. Bend those elbows just a third of the way. Really hold on to the low belly here. Don't let it spill. Walk the knees back if that feels okay. You can stop at any point. And as the knees walk away, it's easier to turn the glutes on, so they'll actually help you. Bend the elbows and release. And when you're in kind of an extended half plank position with the knees down, you can start bending and extending those elbows. Exhale through the mouth. Exhale, hold on to those front ribs. And this next time we'll all lower to our bellies. Walk the fingertips off the mat to either side. Tent those hands, elbows pointing up. We'll inhale, pull the shoulder blades towards the spine, lift the chest for cobra. So we're in a wide fingertip cobra. We did this in class yesterday if you were with me. Exhale, if it feels okay, let the right shoulder start to fall towards the floor and the gaze comes left. Pick the right shoulder back up. And left shoulder falls, gaze comes right. You'll get a gentle stretch in the front of the shoulder. Don't push it with that. Back to neutral. We'll plant the hands, tuck those toes. We're heading to modified side plank. So press up through the hands, pull that left knee under you, and open up modified side plank. That right arm can fly up. Option here to fly the right leg as well. Really anchor into the left hand. Gaze can be towards the floor, And we'll move this just a bit. So exhale, step the right foot forward towards half kneel. Rise in this twisted T position. Maybe bring the right hand behind the pelvis, reach the left arm up for a tiny, tiny back bend. Or I would call it a back extension. Return to modified side plank, left hand plants, sweep the right leg back, maybe hover it. Exhale, step the right foot forward, rise in this twisted T position, maybe add that extension, right hand to the pelvis. Back to modified side plank, reach the right leg back. This next time, we'll step the right foot forward, tuck the left toes, and lift to a crescent with this twist. So we lift that left knee off the mat, keeping our pelvis nice and neutral here in our twist. From here, turn to the left side of your mat for side lunge, toes facing the same direction, bend into the left knee and hip. And then return, crescent lunge to the front of the mat, adding your twist. Left arm forward, right arm back. So turning left, we side lunge left, sitting back into that left hip joint. And then press off the foot, return to crescent lunge, right leg forward, add your twist. We'll do 2 more. Take this in your time. Slower or faster. And then pause at your next side lunge and just take it side to side a bit. Bending into right knee and hip and then the left. Just getting some mobility in the hips there. And we'll head straight to the other side. Turn to the front of your mat, lower the left knee for half kneel. Untuck those toes, inhale, arms lift. And exhale, palms press forward as if you're in your plank here. And then reach the shoulder blades away from the spine, arms move forward. Pull those shoulder blades back onto the ribs. So as you do any of this movement of the shoulder blades, you're going to have to do some extra work to hold on to the rib cage and the neck. Those two are going to want to move in place of the shoulder blades. Don't let them. They're lying to you. Back to neutral. And then fingertips to the top of the shoulders. One at a time, we'll roll it back. Hold on to that left glute if the balance feels tricky here. Woo. Good, and then release this, this rolling. Keep the legs here or step the right knee back for your high kneel. Arms extend wide, slight bend in the elbows, palming the ball with your hands, and using your shoulder blades to pull towards the spine to pulse this back. I'll turn so you can see if you want. 3, 2, 1, and then left arm goes on the high diagonal. Pull it back 4, 3, 2, 1, right arm high, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to neutral. If as you do this, you feel like you can't control the ribs in the neck, left arm high here, do smaller movement. Just do a bit less. And then right arm high, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll plant the hands for a quadruped, taking a moment, finding your neutral position, checking in on those wrists. And then let the chest fall without moving the belly. Shoulder blades pull towards the spine. And then start moving towards neutral, but pause when you feel the shoulder blades click on the back. We'll pull the palms towards the knees. And then here we go, just a slight bend of the elbows. You can stay here if this feels like you need to do the work here. You also could walk the knees back a bit. This is kind of a tricky position. You can't use your glutes as much because the hips are still flexed. And then the next option is to walk the knees back until you're in more of a diagonal. Turn your glutes on, and then we take these small elbow bends. Hold on to those shoulder blades. Just 2 more. You've got this. And we'll all lower to our bellies from wherever you are at. Wide fingertip cobra, tenting those fingers off the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Really anchor the pubic bone by turning on your glutes. Option to lower the front of the left shoulder towards the mat. Gaze comes right if that feels okay. Back towards neutral. And then maybe lower the front of the right shoulder towards the mat. Gaze comes left. Don't push on that, it's just gentle. Back to neutral here. We'll plant the hands under the shoulders, heading to modified side plank. Press up and pull that right knee under the hip. Open towards the left for your modified side plank. Left arm can reach up. Maybe hover the left leg if that feels okay. Even here, find that right shoulder blade pinned on the back. It's holding you up there. And we'll start our movement if that feels okay. Step the left foot forward towards a half kneel. Rise in your twisted T position. Next option, left hand behind the pelvis. Reach the right arm up for a bit of an extension. Really keep that right glute on. And back to modified side plank, right hand plants. Left leg reaches back. Left foot steps forward. Maybe rise for your twisted T. Find your pelvis neutral first, and then if you want to add that extension, right arm reaches overhead. Last time here, modified side plank, right hand plants, left leg reaches. This time we head to our crescent. Step the left foot forward towards half kneel, tuck the right toes and rise. Whoa, hold on to yourself. I lost it. Maybe adding your twist here. Right arm forward, left arm back. We'll turn to the right for side lunge. So turn to the opposite side of the mat, bend into right knee and hip. And return left crescent, maybe adding your twist. Turn side of mat, side lunge, bending into right knee and hip. And back to crescent. We'll do 2 more. Take your time. If you're like me and you're losing everything on this side, you can take it nice and slow. Not losing everything, but just I had to figure it out there. Side lunge, and then pause in your next side lunge, and we'll go side to side. You can make this a bit more of a sway. You can get a bit more organic here with it. And then turn to the front of the mat, bend into the knees, plant the hands. Right foot steps forward, exhale, and inhale, rise. Sun Sal A, if you want, you can put your plank to practice here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Step back to down dog or plank. Turn the glutes on in plank, find the shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, lower the knees and lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra, chest pulls forward. Exhale, we all meet in down dog. Walk the feet into touch, release the neck. Big inhale, rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant, head to down dog or take that plank. Taking a moment to find your plank. And then exhale, lower the knees to lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Walk those feet in a touch. Inhale, we'll rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, consolidate the front and walk or hop forward. Inhale, rise to stand. Last time here, exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Head to down dog or plank. If you're in plank, glutes are on. Lower in whatever way you'd like. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. Walk your feet in a touch. We'll start our second sequence from here. Big inhale first. Exhale, let it out. Feel a sense that the ribs are going to pull up away from the floor, so we don't want them to fall towards the mat. We'll lift the left leg here, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, step the left foot forward, almost like a bent knee pyramid. From here, we're going to rise to a curtsy lunge, or a curtsy squat rather. Press into the left foot, As you step the right foot behind the left, the hands come to prayer. So it's a bit of a balance trick. And then plant the right hand on the front of the left thigh, left hand on the left hip, reach the right leg back towards an airplane. So maybe a slight hover in the toes. You also could keep the toes down. Next option here, draw the right knee next to the left, flexing in that right hip. Extend it back. Final option, right leg goes out to the right, toes stay facing down for abduction. We'll all lower right toes, plant the hands, sweep it back, left three-legged down dog, and we'll try that again. So all of those are options. Remember, you don't have to do anything I suggest. Exhale, step the left foot forward, weight into it, and we'll rise towards a curtsy squat, right knee crossing behind, sitting those hips back. Anchor into the left foot, right hand to the front of the hip, and reach that right leg back, toes on the floor or lifted. If you're in this lifted position, you can try bending the right knee towards the left, flexing at the hip, reach it back, and taking that right leg out to the right. Everybody lowers right toes, return three-legged down dog. We'll do one more. That's very intense on that left glute. Inhale, exhale, left foot steps forward, press into it, rise to your curtsy squat. Anchor into that foot using both hands on the left leg to reach the right leg back wherever feels good for you. You can try flexing the right hip, bending the knee forward. Reach it back and then maybe sweep the right leg out to the right. Woo! Lower those right toes. We'll windmill to the back of the mat. Right twisted crescent, bending into the right knee and hip, planting the left hand, twisting to the right. Huge option here is to lower the left knee. Something to play with if you'd like here. You can take both sets of toes towards the right. So you're kind of on the outer border of the right foot and the outer border of the left foot. You can reach the right arm over the ear, reaching towards the back of the mat. You could even start to lower the hips a bit and lift them up. That's quite an intense mobility stretch, so go easy. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Whatever version you're holding, we've got a funky move here. Really press into the left hand and the right foot. You'll pull the left leg under you and through, sitting onto your butt. Plant those feet on the floor, knees are bent. You've got two options. We'll plant the hands under the shoulders, fingers facing the feet, lifting and lowering for table lifts. Option two, flip the left hand, fingers facing the front, and weight into that to lift for a one-arm table, lower, and then plant the right hand, lifting for a one-arm table. So both options are great. You can move between them. But if you take the one-arm table, really feel like that scapula is pinned onto the back. We'll do one more of whatever you're doing. Good. Lower to the floor. Turn to your left, coming back to the mat for down dog. Last bit here, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward and wide, maybe reaching towards the outside of the left hand. Bending into left knee, right knee stays straight. And then reach it back. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, external rotation. Step that left leg forward, maybe bend into knee and hip. You don't have to get super far. Sweep the left leg back, bend the knee, open it up. Step the left foot forward wide, hinging in that left hip. Reach it up and back, open up the hip. And then we'll step the left foot forward, warrior two, opening up to the side of the mat, ground that right heel, inhale, familiar moment. Exhale, reverse, reaching that left arm over the ear. Inhale, and exhale, warrior variation, left forearm to thigh. Oh, get that good stretch. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Inhale, And warrior variation. We'll carry this down, planting the hands and stepping left foot back for our down dog. Big inhale. Exhale, let it out. We'll head to the other side, but maybe you're thinking this is a class about plank and we haven't done that many planks. But this is a moment to really reflect on how many muscle groups we need to just hold ourselves in that plank position. So think of this right now as kind of doing that warm up, wake up work. And then we'll see how it feels in the plank in our stream. So I'm off my soapbox now. We can lift the right leg, three-legged down dog. Heading to our first series here. Step the right foot forward as if heading towards a bent knee pyramid. Nice long spine, press into the right foot, rise for your curtsy squat, stepping the left leg across behind that right leg. Left hand to the top of the right thigh, right hand to the outside of the right pelvis. Reach the left leg back, toes to the floor or lifted. Some version of airplane or tilted crescent. Option to flex the left hip, draw the left knee forward, reach the left leg back, maybe sweep it out to the left. Abduction. Everybody's left toes lower, hands plant, reach the right leg up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, right foot steps forward, weight into it and rise, stepping left foot in for curtsy squat. Slight lift out of the hip there, left hand anchors on the thigh, reach those left toes back for your version of airplane. Maybe flex the left hip, drawing the thigh forward, reach the leg back. Last option, abduction here, left leg goes out to the left. Toes lower, plant the hands. Last time, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the right foot forward, press into that foot, rise towards your curtsy, left leg behind. Weight into the right leg, using those hands as you come to your version of airplane. Maybe that left knee draws forward, flexing in the hip. Reach it back, and then left leg goes out to the left. This is our glute moment, in case you aren't feeling it too. Windmill to the back of the mat. Twisted crescent, bend into that left knee and hip. You can always lower this right knee. And twisting open to the left. Big inhale here. Exhale, let it out. Option here is to turn the toes to the left side, coming onto the outer borders of each. Maybe reach the left arm over the ear, overhead. And then you can add that little hip lower, lowering the pelvis. It's like lowering the right side of the pelvis here. If that's not working for you, don't do it. There's no point in doing something that hurts. All right, if you're in this side position, take the feet back towards parallel for our moment of swing through. So we'll pull that right knee under us, heading towards our butt. You can sweep the foot through, watch your knees there, adapt if you need to. For our tables, planting the hands, fingers facing the feet to lift. Or your second option is this one-arm table alternating, planting into the right hand, fingers facing the front of the mat or away from you, and then the left hand. So find what feels good there. Feel free to take it in your pace. But we're doing two things. We get to open the front of the hip here and keep telling the glutes to work. Our favorite thing in LYT Yoga. We'll do one more, whatever you're doing here. And then turn to your right for down dog, planting the hands, coming up on the toes a little bit. We'll lift the right leg up here, three-legged. Exhale, stepping the foot wide and forward for some version of a wide-legged squat. Keep flexing in that right hip. Imagining the thigh bone kind of reaching towards the back of the mat. Plant into the hands and sweep the leg back, bending that knee, opening up the hip. Step the right foot forward and wide, bending into knee and hip. Nice long spine. Sweep the right leg up, three-legged down dog. Option to bend that knee, open the hip. One more step here, taking it wide. Oh, feels nice on the hip. Open it up and back, three-legged down dog. And then warrior two, step the foot forward, open to the left, grounding that left heel. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse. Bending towards that back leg, right arm over ear. Inhale. Exhale, warrior variation, right forearm to thigh. Inhale, reverse it. And exhale, warrior variation, right forearm to thigh. We'll turn to face the front of the mat. Whoops, lower the left knee, lower the right knee, and sit the hips back in your child's pose. Walk those hands forward if that's feeling good. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Oh, it's very warm. Breathing. Feeling the energy kind of circulating in your body right now. Just exhaling. Before we head to our stream, where we'll have more opportunities to integrate our plank. Of course, if you don't want to do the planks, you don't have to. But we'll shift the weight forward here. Coming onto the hands, tucking those toes to rise to stand. Plant into, or bend those knees, keeping a nice long spine. Maybe shake the head out here a little bit, or give a wiggle wherever you are. And then we'll rise to our Tadasana. Keep the arms down by your sides here. And just put your head in that place for plank, like you're locking in, even though we're standing vertically. Inhale, we'll start now. You can open those eyes, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant, step the right foot back, lower the knee, untuck those toes. Inhale, arms lift. Fingertips come to the shoulders right away here, and we'll roll one at a time, rolling it back. And then once you've done a few like that, you can just release those fingers and just let the arms be free. Pause your roll there. We'll step the left knee underneath us if that feels okay. Arms come wide, and we'll do 4, pulling back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Once again, step the left foot forward, half kneel, and roll it out. Hold on to that right glute here for stabilizing. Step the left knee under you. Once again, arms wide. We pull back, shoulder blades towards the spine for 3, 2, and 1. One more. Left foot steps forward, roll it out. And from here, plant the hands. Option to come to plank. You can keep the knees lowered or lift them. And when we'll all lower those knees, trying some half push-ups, bending those elbows and pressing away. Feeling shoulder blades clicked on the back here. And maybe if the body feels more ready for this, just take note. Turn your glutes on, and we'll all lower to the floor. Inhale, take a cobra or fly the arms back, lifting the legs for locust. Keep really turning the glutes on, anchoring the pubic bone. And then next series, exhale, hands plant under the shoulders. Option to lift the plank and pause, or immediately pull the left knee under for modified side plank. If you're in plank, plant that left knee. We will open up modified side plank. Just as we did before, step the right foot forward. Lift into your T position here. Option to add that extension, reaching left arm overhead. And plant the hands. You can head to modified side plank or add a plank in here. If you're in plank, pull that left knee under you, opening up. So we'll all meet in modified side plank. Right foot steps forward for our half kneel, rise for your twist. Option to add a little extension, right hand to the back of the pelvis. Heading back to modified side plank or add a plank in here. Last time, everybody's left knee is on the mat. Modified side plank, maybe hovering that right leg. And we'll step the right foot forward, tuck the left toes, rise for your twisted crescent here, feeling your power. Left arms forward, right arms back. Inhale. Exhale, turn to your left for side lunge, bending into left knee and hip, maybe adding a twist here, reaching the left arm towards the ceiling, and turning back to the front of the mat, opening for your twist towards the right. Crescent lunge. And moving between these, our side lunge, and then our twisted crescent, or crescent with a twist. Side lunge, crescent with these T-arms. Last time, side lunge. We'll turn to the back of the mat, plant the hands, left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. This is a little bit different this time. Exhale, step the left foot forward, press into that foot, lift that right leg, maybe fly the arms for airplane. You could always keep those toes on the floor. Press into the left foot, we'll lift the right knee to chest for stork, punch the left arm up towards the ceiling, and then cross the right knee behind the left, curtsy squat, sitting those hips back, hands in prayer. Hands plant, left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. So that's our adaptation of our series. Left foot steps forward, toes stay down and arms fly or lift for your airplane, keeping the left knee bent. Press into that left foot, rise to stand, right knee lifts to chest. So it won't get there, left arm punches up. And cross that right leg behind, curtsy squat, hands in prayer. Hands plant, left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Last time here. Exhale, step the foot forward, rise to your version of airplane. Weight into that left foot, press, lifting right knee towards stork, left arm punches up. Cross the right leg behind for curtsy. And then uncross this leg, rise through standing, step the right foot behind you, turn to the front of the mat. Twisted crescent, bend into that right knee and hip. Remember, you can lower the left knee too. Big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. You might feel more open. And then turn to your right for seated twist. Let the toes face that direction and then draw the left knee under you. You can always extend that leg. Is this left? Yes, it is. Let's side bend to the right, reaching that left arm over. And side bend left, right arm reaches over. We'll unwind towards the back of the mat, bringing the feet to the floor for your version of table here, with both arms down and fingers facing the feet. Or flip the palms and press into one hand for our one-arm table. Your choice here. One more, wherever you are. Good, this time turn over your right side. Step the left foot forward, open up warrior two. Inhale, rise. One reverse here, exhale, side bend towards the back. Inhale, and exhale, warrior variation, left forearm to left thigh. We'll plant the hands to the front of the mat, step back to down dog. Big inhale here. Exhale through the mouth, letting it out. And we'll head to the other side. Right foot steps forward, lower that left knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms lift. Fingertips come to the top of the shoulders, and we roll it out here, alternating one back at a time. And then release these, what I call bolero arms, and we'll just let it be free. Rolling it out. Pause your roll, and the right knee is going to come under you for our high kneel, if that feels okay. Take those arms wide and 4 pulses back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg steps forward, half kneel. Roll it out. Sweep that right leg under you. Really hold on to the left glute as you go. Arms wide and pull it back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time here, hold on to that left glute, right foot steps forward, roll it out with those shoulders. And then plant the hands. Coming to plank, remember you can keep the knees down, maybe even more under you if that feels better. And then we'll all lower the knees. If you'd like, you'll add your half push-ups here, bending the elbows, but really keeping the shoulder blades where they are on the back. So maybe the bend is just a couple inches. Next time, everybody lower to the floor. Inhale, chest lifts for cobra, or fly the arms and legs back for locust. Keep using the glutes to anchor the pubic bone. Exhale, release, hands plant. Heading to our modified side plank series. 2 options here. Tuck your toes and we'll lift up. You can immediately pull the right leg under or pause in a plank. And then we'll all meet in right modified side plank. That right leg comes under. Maybe hover the left. Stepping the left foot forward for half kneel. Rising in your twist here, right arm forward. Option to add that back extension. Reaching right arm up, left hand to back of the pelvis. Coming to plank or right modified side plank, your choice. If you're in plank, pull that right leg under you. Modified, we're all meeting here now. Left foot steps forward, rising for your twist. Left hand behind the pelvis, right arm reaches up. And planting the right hand for modified side plank or adding one more plank in. Turn those glutes on if you're there. We'll lower the right knee. Everybody's now in modified. Step the left foot forward, tuck the right toes, rising for our crescent lunge here with our twisted T arms. Turn to the right side of the mat, side lunge, bend into that knee and hip, and return to your crescent, reaching right arm forward, left arm back for the twist. So moving between these 2 positions, we've done this a few times now. So feel free to take agency with pace or adding extra arms. Doing something crazy I'm not thinking of. One more time. Next time you come to that right side lunge, we'll turn to the back of the mat, plant the hands, right leg sweeps up and back, 3-legged down dog. Heading towards our airplane curtsy series. Right foot steps forward, you can lift the arms or fly everything towards an airplane. Weight into the right foot, left knee lifts to chest as you rise, right arm punches up to the ceiling. And then left knee crosses behind the right for curtsy squat, hands in prayer. Plant the hands, step the left foot back, right leg lifts, 3-legged down dog. Right foot steps, your version of airplane here. Keeping the right knee bent. Press into the right foot, left knee lifts, punch the right leg, right arm up. And curtsy squat, left leg crosses behind the right. Hands and left foot plant, right leg sweeps back. Last time we'll do this. Right foot steps forward, your version of airplane. Feel the strength in that glute. Left knee lifts, punch the right arm. And then last curtsy squat of our flow, cross that left leg behind the right, hinge in the hips. Start to lift out of it, step the left foot behind you to the front of the mat. We'll turn towards that leg for a twisted crescent. Opening up for a twist to the left. You can always lower the right knee. And then we'll take it to a seated twist, both sets of toes turn to the left, and we pull the right leg under us, maybe extending the right knee in front. Side bend to the left here, right arm reaching over the ear. And side bend to the right, left arm reaching over. Keep unwinding towards the back of the mat, so uncross those legs, plant the feet for your tables here, lifting and lowering. Keeping both hands down or alternating one hand. Lifting and then planting the opposite hand. Using those glutes. One more. And then we'll turn to the left. Use your hands and step the right foot forward, rising up for warrior two. Take your time to get there. Exhale, reverse your warrior, side bending towards the back of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, warrior variation, right forearm to thigh. And then turn to the mat for good measure. Plant those hands. Find your plank. That can be knees down, it can be knees lifted. Feel the shoulder blades on the back. And just sense how different this is from when we started. And then lower those knees and come onto your back. You can shift the hips back, sweep those legs around. And we'll immediately move towards a Shavasana. So you can find any position that enables you to release the effort here. That might be feet on the floor, that might be legs extended. Could be on your belly or in a seat. Legs up the wall. Really give yourself permission to find what works for you. And when you get there, let's take an entry breath. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And start to let those thoughts, feelings of work and tension really release as if they were passing you by clouds, like clouds in the sky. Not anything you can hold on to, but they're just passing in the environment. If you have time and you'd like to, mute your computer and you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. You're ready to move. Lengthen your next inhale through the nose. Open the mouth at the top and exhale, releasing that air. One more like that. Inhale. Open the mouth and exhale. On your next inhale, you can reach the arms overhead, maybe interlace the fingers. Reach the hands and the feet in opposite directions. Exhale, release. And then keep your eyes closed and slowly make your way to a comfortable seat. Finding, once again, in a sense, a sort of Tadasana position. All of our bones stacked together. And just noticing the integrity of your structure here. Appreciating any changes that might have happened in the last hour. And really give yourself a moment of congratulations for working with your body, learning more about yourself through our practice together. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you so much. Woo. All right, I'll stick around if you have questions. Otherwise, I hope to see you soon. Go enjoy the sunlight.